Hey, it's Andy here, and I just wanted to pop out a quick video about some of the research I came up with and thinking that I had on what's going on in Bitcoin in El Salvador. September 7th, they are making Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador, and this is generating a lot of interest in the Bitcoin currency. I think what's fascinating, what's going on in Latin America, is some of the countries there are trying to adopt a currency that is controlled, really the value of it is controlled outside of the government to some extent. This is what's interesting to me, is that it's all about trying to get around the normal inflationary tendencies of these governments as they overspend and don't pay for things. And pay for things, meaning tax people. I guess the petro in Venezuela is probably the best example of a failed attempt at this. But I would say that the concept of using Bitcoin as a fiat currency or the currency of the country is driven by trying to control inflation and really trying to control the value of your own currency to some extent as you tie it to the value of Bitcoin in the exchange process that you have. It's a little technical, I know, but there's a lot of excitement about this. From Peru to Paraguay to Venezuela to El Salvador, they're all looking at this. Now, what's interesting is the arrest of a local non-advocate of this process, shall we say, a protester against the government moving into Bitcoin. He was arrested just over the last couple of days and then released. And this is emblematic of strong governments, strong armed governments in that region who clamp down on anyone who goes against what the government's trying to do. That's fascinating. But I also think it's fascinating in El Salvador with what they're forcing people to do is use their government wallet, the Chivo, to convert. And that way they can control and to some extent they can see through the wallet, they can see where these transactions are occurring, even though the actual transaction on the blockchain for Bitcoin is anonymous. So there's a lot of things going on in this space. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with regulation. China's obviously trying to clamp down and kick out all the miners. Singapore just came out with an alert against Binance. Binance just came out and said they're looking at going and IPOing in 3 years. Obviously, that comes on the heels of Coindesk doing the same. So there's just a lot happening in this space overall. But the thing that I keep getting back to from my time at the CFTC when we approved the Bitcoin futures traded product is Bitcoin itself has never been hacked. So the theoretical structure actually works in practice and in reality, and that's the best news about it. Now, the value of it, I would say the best way of looking at Bitcoin right now is it's art. Right? Whatever I think is the value of an art piece is what I'm willing to pay for it. And that's the same what's going on in Bitcoin. It's not really a medium of exchange, although it's touted like that, just because you can't have the volume of transactions go through like you could on a Visa card. So there's some downsides to it. But right now, there's all sorts of money flowing towards Bitcoin, flowing towards Ethereum, flowing towards all of the infrastructure around it to see if you can speed up that process. And as long as that money continues to flow that way, there's opportunities that are going to come from that, and there's continued growth that's going to go on in this space. So keep an eye on it. It's fascinating, and I think more to come shortly. I'm Andy Bush. You can get all my research at andrewbush.com. So that's Bush like the beer. And then you can follow me on Twitter at ABUSCH. Thanks so much.